We'll start off with the thing that obviously is on the minds of many Canadians: how Canada keeps slipping down the international table when it comes to vaccine deployment. And obviously, this has an impact on death toll, but it also has a huge economic impact in terms of when we can expect to get back to some sort of full economy again. I'd like your reactions to that. We'll start with Gary Marr from the West, and then move to our other panelists. Gary, what's your reaction to this situation?
Well, I think that it's quite important that we move forward with a greater sense of urgency on the importance of getting vaccines. Jabbing people in the shoulders will be the number one important thing to getting our economy rolling again. And I think that we're not taking a wartime type of response to it. It seems to me that it would be like telling Franklin Delano Roosevelt on December the 8th, 1941, we're going to have your fighter planes ready, sometime in August of 1944. So just off the top of my head, it strikes me that this has to be one of the things that has got to be at the top of the agenda, to acquire vaccines and distribute them widely.
Sandra Pupatello, you're watching this situation as well. What are your thoughts on the matter?
I think everyone would agree that we wish we had all 40 million that we might need for every resident in Canada and that we had them today. The reality is that I think no one would have predicted that Pfizer or AstraZeneca, any of them, would have not met their contractual obligations in a timely fashion. And in fact, they believe that they will meet at least their quarterly obligation to get the numbers they said they would by the end of the first quarter. So we can hope that they in fact can produce. In the meantime, I'm heartened to see that our government is creating additional plans for the future of this, because with all of these additional strains that we're now hearing about, whether it's a South African or a UK, I think these vaccines are going to become a fact of life forever. And it may be one of those boosters that the population has to have every couple of years or 5 years, in which case having local supply, as we're now creating, is going to be well worth it for us.
Joe Oliver, I know you've been a critic in the past on this matter. To put it lightly,
well, look,
here's your chance.
Just to extend Gary's analogy, it would be like saying you won't get the planes till 1944, but we're going to get 1,000 times as many planes as our allies, and that's the diversionary sort of talk that we're hearing from the government. We're 20th in the world now, sinking rapidly, and the timing is crucial because the longer it lasts, more people get sick and more people die. And this is really a tragedy, and you can't. They're not going to be able to spin their way out of this one. But we are where we are, and we have to do whatever we can to accelerate the arrival of the vaccines, and then, of course, it's up to the provinces to distribute them. But the health aspect is evident to everyone, and the population is getting increasingly frustrated and, frankly, worried. And that's kind of a natural, rational reaction. The impact on the economy, and we were talking about that last month, is going to be worse. I mean, the Department of Finance was forecasting growth, I think, this year of 5%, because it's a snapback, and interest rates of 1%. Well, you can't have growth of 5% when everything's closed. So I'm sure they're scrambling to revise the numbers as we speak, and that's going to drive up the debt, and it ultimately will drive up interest rates and inflation. So, we're going to have a very serious fiscal problem. But the critical thing right now is to get people back to work, and we can't open everything up right now because the numbers are still too high.